You are bleeding energy. You care too much about things you cannot control. You are exhausted. Not physically, mentally. You let a toxic boss, a bad mock test score, or a stranger's fleeting opinion hijack your nervous system. If you keep forcing focus without fixing this, your mind will become a war zone. You will burn out before you ever reach your potential. You will break. You've tried the standard advice. You've tried deep breathing. You've tried positive thinking. You've read the self-help books telling you to just let it go. They failed. They failed because they address the symptom. They ignore the root operating system of your mind. Society tells you that caring deeply about the outcome is the only way to succeed. Society is wrong. Today, we tear down that broken system. We are going to cover the biology of reactivity. We are going to uncover the ancient Vedic formula for emotional armor. And I will give you the precise witness mode protocol you can deploy today. This is how you become completely, ruthlessly, emotionally bulletproof. Look at your life right now. You are operating on a hair trigger. An email arrives from your manager with a passive-aggressive tone, and your heart rate spikes. You check your exam percentiles, see a drop, and instantly spiral into a crisis of identity. Someone leaves you on red, and your brain creates 100 catastrophic scenarios. You think this means you are passionate. You think this means you are driven. It does. It means you are a slave. The modern world programmed you to attach your identity to your results. We are taught that the outcome dictates our worth. This is the modern failure. You have handed the remote control of your emotional state to external forces, to algorithms, to institutions, to flawed human beings. You are constantly on the defensive. When you attach your self-worth to a moving target, you are guaranteed to miss. The Bhagavad Gita identifies this attachment as the exact chain that binds you. It is the leash around your neck. The harder you pull, the tighter it chokes. You are paralyzed not because you lack talent, but because you are terrified of the recoil. You cannot perform at a high level when your nervous system is convinced that a single failure is a threat to your survival. We have to cut the leash. Modern psychology calls the solution cognitive diffusion. The ancients called it Vairagya. Do not misunderstand this word. Vairagya is not depression. It is not apathy. Apathy is the coward's way out. Apathy is what happens when you give up. Vairagya is the exact opposite. It is high-level, objective detachment. It is the stance of the apex warrior. You still fight the war. You still study for the grueling exam. You still build the business. You still put in the relentless hours. But you completely sever the emotional cord tying you to the fruit of your labor. Krishna calls this Nishkama Karma. Action without desire for the result. This is not a religious commandment. It is a psychological hacking mechanism. When you detach from the outcome, you eliminate the fear of failure. When the fear of failure is gone, the amygdala stops screaming. Your prefrontal cortex comes back online. You enter a state of pure flow. Think of a sniper. A sniper does not scream. panic or grip the rifle tighter when they want to hit the target. They lower their heart rate. They detach. They observe the wind. They pull the trigger with dead, cold precision. Vairagya makes you the sniper of your own life. You do the work, but you are no longer the victim of the work. You become the master of the action, completely indifferent to the applause or the boos from the crowd. If you are ready to stop being a slave to your moods, comment the word warrior below. Let me know who is really with me. Philosophy is useless without practice. The ancient texts call this practice sadhana. We are going to implement this today using the witness mode protocol. This is your mental framework to step outside yourself. When the trigger happens, when the insult lands, when the rejection email arrives, you must create a micro gap between the stimulus and your response. In that gap, you shift your perspective. You step out of your own body. Imagine your mind as a stark, high-contrast graphic novel, pure black and white. You strip away the noise and visualize yourself as a simple, minimalist outline standing in a dark, empty room. You are no longer the person receiving the insult. You are the third-party observer watching it happen to that outline. The insult, the anger, the failure. It is a bright red ball hurled at the figure. In the past, you would catch that ball. You would let it burn your hands. You would throw it back. In witness mode, you do not move. You watch the red anger ball hit an invisible, impenetrable shield of glass just inches from the figure. You watch it bounce off, harmlessly. It never touches you. You acknowledge it exists, but you deny it entry into your nervous system. Here is your 24-hour protocol. Tomorrow, you are going to actively hunt for a trigger. When something annoys you, traffic, a rude comment, a frustrating task, you will not react. You will pause for 3 seconds. You will engage witness mode. You will watch the emotion rise in you as if you are watching a stranger on a movie screen. You will say, "Look at that, frustration is occurring." Not, "I am frustrated," but frustration is occurring. You break the identification. I'm going to give you the final trap that ruins this for everyone in a second. But first, you have to understand why this is dangerous. Here is the trap. Your ego is sneaky. When you first practice Vairagya, your ego will try to sneak back in through the back door of spiritual superiority. You will start feeling arrogant because nothing bothers you anymore. You will look down on others who are reacting. That is not Vairagya. That is just your ego wearing a new mask. True detachment is silent. It is humble. It is invisible to everyone else. Now that you have the armor, you are going to face a new enemy. When you detach from outcomes, you might start feeling like an imposter. You might wonder if you even belong on the battlefield if you don't care about the medals anymore. This is the exact crisis Arjuna faced. Now that you have the mindset, you need the technique to conquer that doubt. Click here to watch the Arjuna complex, Conquering Imposter Syndrome. Next, I will show you exactly how to dismantle the fraud inside your head. Shanti.